Hello everyone and welcome back to another Aussie Empires video. Today we're going to be showing you these mobile camps, you could say. Now this is made by Base Student, and he's been as gracious as he is to allow me to showcase this because he has worked on this neat little thing here for our project, of course. That I'll probably make a video about it someday in the near future. However, when I say near future, it's probably a week, so yeah, you never know. But anyways, this is really cool. It's very interesting, and it does look quite complex if you look at all this here. However, once you really dig into it, there's a certain logic behind these camps here. Now, first of all, you can see that there's a what was it again? Like a trade cart or like a packed camp or something. A. And this is like a trade cart B or whatever, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, this here, you need 3 different types, of course, because this guy's going to be turning into a barracks, for example. This is stable and this is an archery range. And if you do keep it all the same, so for example, all of them are mule carts, well, once you do the triggers, you can only really change a mule cart into a barracks and not multiple mule carts into multiple buildings. So you do need 3 different units that do look a bit the same. Now, what we do have to do with this mule cart here is we have to disable the eco techs. Otherwise, you'll have them here, and that's not really what we want, of course, because this is supposed to be like a packed camp. Once you've done that, you will want to reskin these guys, alter the mule carts, of course, because we want them to look the same, but they're technically not the same. Basically, that's it, supply cart, that's this one, will be changed into the standing graphic, so the skin basically of this mule cart here. Same for the walking graphic. Here we go. Because of course, if it moves, we don't want it to change into, well, a supply cart. Basically, you do that for all the units here. Yeah, see, everything, supply cart, standing graphic, supply cart B. And what we want to is change the object name ID of these mule carts. You can see the mule cart is going to become an archery range. Supply cart A, this one's going to be a barracks. And then supply cart B is going to be our stable. You can see that right here. And of course, we want to change the icon of these 2 to the icon of a mule cart. There we go. Very interesting stuff indeed. Basically, all of these skins are not too difficult, and if you do want to do this yourself, so with the mule cart, just have a looky at this standing graphic. If you do want to do this for any other things, you will have to use age, which is, well, I did explain that in a video, I think one of my later, what am I saying? In one of my older videos for age, where you have to change the, the dead unit ID, and that's that's quite fun. But anyways, basically age, you can get there through Steam. Might make a video of just how to get into it anyways. But, just check age. And if you don't know how to get in there, the Discord's always open to join, and you can always ask. Because those people in there, they probably know it much better than I do. Anyways, once we've done the unit skin, we do have to change this invulnerability level. Now, you don't have to do this, of course. You don't need to. But if you don't want these guys to die in your scenario, then this is probably a sound idea, because otherwise they might get killed, and there goes your gimmick for the scenario. So you do that for all 3 of these lads, and just put it to 50. And that's kind of what you go through. I think my game's lagging. That's quite yeah, there we go, see. Oh, must be all the heat around here. But anyway, after you've done that, what we want to do is change the barracks, because of course this is going to change into a barracks, one of these guys anyways. What I want to do is change the standing graphic to one of those army or military barracks that they used in the Alexander the Great campaign, and this is basically the standing graphic for that. So if you do want to do that, just pause the video here and you can just tick this number in there. For a stable, of course, which is, going to be an army stable thingamajiggy, and then same for the archery range. Now, we're going to do the same thing here, the invulnerability level, because we don't want those buildings to die. That's basically what the reasoning behind this. You don't want them to be destroyed, otherwise you kind of lose your army camps and etc. Anyways, we also want to give these guys a name, of course. So the supply cart will get the caption, Barracks, B, a stable, and the mule cart will get the archery range. Now what we also want to do is, because some clever players will say, well, if these guys can't be destroyed, we'll just delete them if you want to be annoying. But we've disabled that too. Disable object deletion basically means these guys cannot be deleted. So try as you may, won't be possible. And basically here you can see, oof, all the transformy stuff, but it isn't too crazy. Basically, I'm just going to pick one example. What we want to do is enable this blank technology. Basically, there's a couple of technologies here, as you can see, to 39, 0 to 39. These things actually do nothing. So if you want to make your own technology, this is a sound way of doing it. Now, back in the day, you just have to use, I don't know, a tech that doesn't really impact your civ, but now we do have these technologies here that just do nothing. So basically what we're going to do is enable all these guys, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to change the name of the first one. So for this lad, deploy barracks. What we're doing here is going to make this top tech so that this guy changes into the barracks and, well, the barracks back into this guy. Now you can see the name changes for the deploy. So deploy blank technology 03 is going to be archery range, number 2 is going to be stable, and number 1 is going to be barracks. Now, of course, we do want to change the technology because if we wanted to say, well, you know, once researched, the barracks will appear, blah, blah, blah. You can see here, just explain the thing. And we do this for all 3. Now, what we want to do is change the technology icon for all of these. So you can see here, they're all, I think this is treadmill crane. You can choose what to do with it, but of course, if it's something like, well, a building, you can change it kind of, yeah, a bit more industrial, as you can see here. And we do want to change the technology location, because don't forget that this blank technology is going to, well, sit somewhere. And luckily, because we've deleted all of the eco text here, you can just put this in the top left, so number 1. Now, for the barracks, which is going to be, as you can see here, so if this is the barracks, which it will turn into, we'll have to enable 4 to 0, 6, because we need 3 extra ones, because we do need a tech to get the barracks back into this cart here. Now, same thing here, pack up barracks, pack up, or you can return to mobile form or whatever, and of course change the description. Once researched, the barracks will return to its mobile form. Not too difficult, really, it's just one way around. And we change the same icon. Now you can see it gets back into wheels, so that's kind of nice. Again, you can just use the same icon, it doesn't really matter. And we have to change the technology location to the bottom right, because of course it's going to turn into a barracks, and we're going to train units. So if you put it in the top left, it won't show up because the militia line is already there. So don't forget, same thing here in the stable, and of course the archery range. So just put it on the bottom right. I'll go through it once we're there, of course. Now, as you can see here, we're just going to take one example here from barracks or cart to barracks, and then back from a barracks to the cart here. Now, once we research the first technology, so blank technology 01, which is the, cart to barracks, this will replace, so the unit, the supply cart, will be turned into a barracks. Now, this will activate the second trigger. Now, what we do have to do is just say, okay, we're going to enable the 4th technology. So you don't want this enabled at all times, because you do need it to switch, of course. Otherwise, it will show up in any other barracks, and you don't want that. Or at any other time. Now, what we're going to do is we've got the second trigger. So basically, we're going to activate this one right here, the second one, and it will research technology. Or once this technology is researched, so that in the bottom right of the barracks, it will replace this object back into the supply cart. And guess what it will activate? This guy right here. Again, now you might say, well, Ozzy, it's already activated. True, but this is only once. So basically, once you've done it once, if there is no activate trigger, this one won't activate again. So same thing here, enable technology 01, and it goes in a loop. Same thing for the stable and the archery range. Now I'm going to show you guys basically how this works more intricately in the actual examples. So basically the little intro I showed you guys. Okay, so we're going to pick the example for the barracks. As you can see here, this guy changed into the, well, the different look. Now, instead of the mule cart, I thought this was the mule cart, but it's actually the packed up town center, or ox cart, basically. But you can change it into anything. So, as we can see here, This is the caption, the barracks, the archery range, and the stable, and we can see that the names have changed to the archery range. You can see that this is still build mule cart, trade cart. So that's quite funny. That's quite interesting. Yeah, that's quite funny. But anyways, we can see that the treadmill crane here, or the blank technology, is deploy barracks. So it did work indeed. And once we click it, the cool thing is you can still move with these units. This will change into the army barracks. And because we also changed this name, or it's just a regular barracks, but with the idea of, well, the army barracks, it looks like this instead of the regular old thing. And now again, because we put the technology in number 15 and not number 1, because otherwise this won't show up, we can still pick it up here. So once we select this, boom, it gets replaced again. And now, well, I don't know, we want our barracks to be put here. And there we go. So this guy has been spawned again, and you can do it for the archery range, for the stable, which has different loading times, but you can change that too, and it all works as intended. So anyways, thank you guys a lot for watching this video. This has been quite, I don't know, a complex one. I couldn't wrap my head around it at first, but as I said, there is a little bit of logic into this, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you all in the next video.